Did you see that shit? MMA podcast. Hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and Chicago's number one underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Thank you for listening. I'm Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and this is
Apollo Taj Mahal.
We are the guys from the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast. We know you're going to like the interview, so be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on all the social media platforms, as well as the Missing Time Productions YouTube channel. And don't forget to go to didyousee.shit.com for a complete rundown of all of our content. Right, Apollo?
Yeah.
I want to welcome Jon Fitch back to the show. Man, one of my favorite people to talk to, and he's got a big fight this week, and he's making his Bellator debut against Paul Daly.
This is so exciting. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, man. Training's been great. Training camp was great. Excited about this fight coming up, so it's going to be a good week.
Definitely going to be a good week, man. I'm super looking forward to this. I think, Daly is a guy who obviously presents interesting challenges to you, but as my co-host said, he thinks this is going to be a replay of the Rory McDonald fight. Without giving away any of your game plan, you're not going to stand and bang with Daly, are you?
I like to take the path of least resistance. So depending on what he's given me, I'll take. I don't think it's a good idea to just go into a fight and only have one strategy or one idea of what's going to happen. But I like to impose my will on people, and they tend to show you the path on how they want to lose.
Do you go into fights with a game plan, or do you kind of just feel it out while you're in there? Because you're so well rounded, I feel like you don't really need that.
No, I mean my game plan is to put pressure on people. I have enough skills and I'm well rounded enough to fight anywhere, but I don't want to pigeonhole myself and only be prepared to fight one way in a fight. I want to mostly just put the pressure on them, and they open up and they give you what you need to put them away.
Yeah, you've long been one of my favorite fighters, man, just because of your pace. I've been watching you fight since the very first fight in UFC and all the way on through your runs in World Series and now here in Bellator. I think what you're doing now, John, you're kind of expanding. You're doing the shake breaks, the coffee break today. I love what you're doing, man, and you've really been able to change with the times. And Paulo and I, my co-host, were talking before we spoke with you today. We feel that you got way better hair than Kenny Florian. Everybody talks about his hair. His hair is the best, but I'm sorry, man. For dollar, I think your hair blows his away. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, man. The hair game's been coming on strong. I've been, trying to grow up a little bit. I got a couple sons, and I want to be a good example for them. I've been a slob enough in my life. I'm starting to dress nicer and starting to clean my hair up, shave a little bit nicer.
I enjoy watching your shake breaks. You playing the ukulele is hilarious. I love it. You have awesome guitar face, by the way.
Nice.
But have you ever thought about going into commentating? Because, in this last shake break, I'm going to call coffee break, you were talking about judo and the effects of it, and the way you explained how judo and how you would want to use it in the streets was so good. I was like, man, this guy needs to be commentating for Bellator or something. Yeah,
I'm definitely open to it. I may only have 5 more years or so of being able to fight, so I'm definitely looking towards post-career stuff right now. I'm taking the fight game one fight at a time, but I'm trying to develop a following on social media, and I got a Patreon going, doing online coaching. I've got a lot of different things out there, and commentating would definitely be something I'd be interested in.
I think that would be a perfect fit for you, man. I mean, you're educated, you're well-spoken, you've been there, you've done that. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that you're going to probably just end up falling into, man.
Especially with Bellator.
For sure. One thing that really interested me, John, is you went vegan and then you actually went back to eating meat.
Yep.
Are you still eating meat?
Yeah, I eat almost all meat now.
Okay.
Now I'm meat and greens pretty much. I don't eat sugar. I don't have any sugar in my diet, and very limited carbs. Mostly I'm meat, fats, and greens.
That's what you would recommend, because anybody who's seen you fight, man, you look as fresh round 5 as you do in round one? I mean, you don't get tired. Would you attribute that to your healthy lifestyle?
Hard cardio, and a big aspect of cardio is the mental part of it. A lot of people don't train cardio right. They just think of it as a body experience, but you've got to get your mind involved in the cardio. Cardio doesn't really start until you're already exhausted.
So you really focus on trying to make sure at your peak exhaustion, that's when you're getting those harder reps.
That's when you really make the difference, and you have to have your mind in a state where you're comfortable with it, and you know that you're all right, and you know that you're pushing, and it's kind of like a meditative state almost. For me, like hard cardio is meditation. That's when I find my real zen.
There's a lot of people thinking that you're a crazy man right now.
Not me, because I believe that 100%. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, obviously everybody's different, right? And we all have our different zens. But what would you say for like someone like me or someone listening that wants to get into this but doesn't know how to find that zen? What could you maybe suggest for someone to try to explore that, like to find their own personal zen?
Things that can engage you but leave your mind kind of free. I mean, yoga does it for a lot of people because you got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, and you have to focus on breathing and figure out a way to keep yourself from breaking, breaking mentally and quitting. You have to kind of take the pain, ease through it, and that's kind of what I'm doing with the cardio, but just on a much more intense and heavy level. Everybody needs to incorporate high intensity training into their life, along with weight training, resistance training. It's like the best thing for you health wise, and if your body's healthy, your mind's going to be healthy.
Maybe the truest words ever spoken right there. My co-host, he touched on it a little bit earlier, the ukulele playing. I think your ukulele game you've made leaps and bounds. You were just playing like Red Hot Chili Peppers earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's one of the first songs I started learning. I was like, if I can learn this song, I'll upgrade to a more serious ukulele. Because I had like a real cheap novelty one to start with.
Why did you start playing, man? Like what? Why
I was playing a lot of video games. I was playing like 4 to 6 hours of video games a day. And I was just like, I'm not getting anything. When they turn the console off, I don't walk away with anything. And I was getting ready to start a family and have kids. So, I wanted my kids to have music around them growing up. And those two things put together. And then I had read some stuff about how, learning an instrument challenges your mind in a way that helps it stay young. And I thought just for, being able to have a better brain health, better cognitive abilities, because you're challenging fine motor movements with your mind at the same time. Would be something to help add and make me a better person.
Very cool.
Do you feel that some of that has also helped you in your fighting in a way? I always felt like learning other things has helped me when I was wrestling, would help my wrestling and just my way of thinking.
Yeah, anytime you can challenge yourself. That's part of keeping your mind young is constantly challenging it, learning new things, learning new skills, reading and retaining information that you read. Don't just read garbage.
No.
But yeah, all those things are, I think, important to maintain a good life, a healthy life, and we only get one life, so we might as well make the most of it. And there's a lot of great things out there that we'll miss out on if we're just wasting our time, watching porn and playing video games.
That's for sure. And unfortunately, I think far too many people spend their time doing just those things, man.
Yep.
You know who you are, Jaron.
Well, I know, John, you're very active with the Muhammad Ali Act. You're trying to get that out there for everybody. The floor is yours, man. Sponsors, the Muhammad Ali Act. Anything you'd like to shout out, man?
I mean, the problems with mixed martial arts are fundamental. The structure of the sport is just broken, and the only way to fix it is through the Muhammad Ali Act. We need a legal backstop to push the promoters up against. Without that, there's no collective bargaining agreement. There's no leverage. There's nothing that the fighters will be able to do to get better pay or better treatment. As long as the promoters control rank and title, they will just get rid of anybody who's a squeaky wheel, because they can take your belt, they can take your title, they can take your rank away from you. and banish you from their organizations. So the only way to fix that is to make a fundamental change of the Muhammad Ali Act, expanding that to all combat sports athletes. It's really the only way. Along with the class action lawsuit, UFC fighters need to come forward and be vocal about supporting the class action lawsuit. The class action lawsuit is not about money. The lawyers will get mad at me for saying that, but the class action lawsuit is about creating a legal precedent to be a backstop to help push them up against, to make sure that they know if they continue the same business practices, they'll get sued again. If you have that threat, then they'll come forward and you'll be able to develop some kind of collective bargaining agreement. Because as long as there's nothing to back them up against, like you have no leverage at all, there's nothing that's going to force them to negotiate with you.
Makes sense to me. Now, if someone's listening and they want to do something, but they don't know what they can do, was there a website they can go to?
Call your local representatives. You can follow MMA-FA, Mixed Martial Arts Fighter Association, MMAFA.net. You can go to the website, read, check things out. And on a side note, and people can also check out all my stuff on jonfitch.net.
They should definitely be doing that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what they're doing if they're not.
Your shake breaks, all that stuff.
My blog series is up there, too. It's fun to read. I put a new post up every Monday.
Well, best of luck to you, man, this weekend at Bellator 199. I know, luck is a byproduct of hard work and dedication, and you have that in spades, man. So can't wait to see you this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to be watching.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
It's time.